Our second reader is the author of the chapbook, The Month in Which We Are Born, on Dancing Girl Press. Her writing has appeared or is forthcoming in Knee Jerk Magazine, Hobart, The Rumpus, Lines and Stars, Dialogist, and Midway Journal, among many others. Recently, New City named her among the top 5 emerging Chicago poets, and I believe she has chapbooks here for sale, so go see her for that, and give a warm welcome to Danielle Susi.
Thank you. This is great service. Do what we can. Hi, everybody. I hope everybody has a drink. If you drink, shout out to that woman knitting. Good for you. It's always good to multitask. I'm going to read a couple poems from my chapbook, and then I'm going to read some newer poems from my manuscript. Thank you. Sure. Shout out to this camera. I like to have fun. Poetry should be fun, you guys. And thank you to Andrew and Eden. Thank you so much for having us and for having us all here in this great place. Ode to Absorption. 1. What happens in wreckage when teeth have been so changed from original dental record, bio-orthodontia or otherwise? The unfamiliar vellum of an X-ray held against illumination, how red and green together will give blackness. 2. A red vessel is red because it reflects its own color. When we say, this bowl is red, we mean it is not itself. Depravity. You will suffer only a few degrees of dilution. I will deprive you of your brilliant character, turn you into something poisonous. A sickly fawn in the womb, preparing to become sharply altered, holds fast to darkness and saturation. You will crave neutrality, and the response, violet eclipsing into night. That guy just couldn't handle it. I get it. Poems are hard sometimes. We've all been there. Glad people are laughing. That makes me happy. You know, a joke doesn't fail when people are laughing. Or did it? Trick shot. That's the name of the poem. You don't have to laugh. It's okay. Trick shot. No, serious. I want so badly to load myself into a cannon. I never believed a trick shot at a circus. My body could have a small death in a big way, like a star in a distant galaxy. No death can be so small that it does not inspire some consideration of the spiral dynamics of the solar system. Rust is the blood of steel. It meets its threshold much sooner than I. Blood is the rust of my body, red upon oxidization. Sunlight, slit, prism, cannonball through the spectrum. Sestina for the eye. Each hue is defined by wavelength or frequency, how often or far apart, the inconvenience of closeness or the memory of longing for harmonic intervals of light filtered through the human eye and sometimes the mechanical eye. Yet how we discriminate these wavelengths is not well understood in light of other things we know. And apart from corresponding frequencies for each prismatic color or manifestation of color or what resides harmoniously in the eye, there is an equivalent harmony for the musical ear, which collects length and time and in turn plays a part in the generation of light, but cannot identify single tones of light, like notes fingered on a piano or a cello plucked as part of an orchestra performed at the center of the eye. To take red, any length of red, and mistake it for the afterimage of green, for the deposit of complementary light, is to speak of harmony to some length, and the joining of two or more colors behind the eye. Pretending like vision is not a part of what makes the body a part of a machine for forgetting. What makes the eye not a tool for collecting but for losing light. To suggest that the human eye is satisfied or in equilibrium is to deny the comfort of length, the redemption of length, the restlessness of length, or the longing for memory of light. Intersections. Dyad. Today we are tartan plaids bleeding at the intersection. Lit candles, flame flavored like goji berry, and smoking crosshairs in the aftermath. Triad. This is a fallen tree in the road. The smell of spilled pine over a scratched record, a screened-in porch, and a creaky door slam. Tetrad. I chart your grief on a Portolano map because it is a coastline. Hexad. Tomorrow will be sparrows on the white mountains. Bellow the names of stones kicked out of place, and let each ravine know just how heavy our heads have been. Not one of them is spotless. When your mouth is a standard rowboat, it will be okay for your tonsils to have sung the vibration of an outboard motor. We all take out our licenses and not one of them says donor or has the state we are in printed above our names, above the town where we blew our first red light. You imagine being with a future me, and I am in love with that possibility the way I am in love with the few steps before a title line. We all take out our teeth, and not one of them is spotless. When we hold them to the light, we regret every reflected dimple. Our mouths are too small to hold them all in, but our teeth will always forgive us. By a show of hands. He says he feels strange about taking the fingerprints of everyone in the office, and I can't help but feel jealous of his new ability to compare each whorl and arch to the physical appearance of the person who offers it, to the person who leaves with blackened hands. I've finally had a cinematic dream in which a hand touches another hand. Now their palms are at the base of my neck, and I see their faces in the grid of my eyelids. That night, I put a knife in my coat pocket, ink of a ghost on my own fingers. Upon being pushed. Twin boys on the train, one sitting in front of the other, both with their mouths wide, examining the passing lights of the tunnel. Brother behind as blurred moving image. You are remembering the tri-state area with its lakes long like their names. Each minnow with its small individual shadow. Lake exactly as we left it, though time had marred this place indefinitely. It is strange what we remember about a labyrinth. You were an amalgamation of stones, piled against one another, fighting for space closer to the surface, knocking teeth out of the mouths of individual parts, chipping hard sediment the way this train chips away at my soft particles, the way it makes me remember what it's like to be pushed. I've got so many tongues wrapped around the mountains, tasting every stripe of solitude and spitting out the edges of blizzards and the thresholds of cyclonic meter. Your small fist is moving against what we know to be cloud matter in an aluminum basin, steady, heavy. Keep beating, keep rhythm, leave the music on. Let everyone know I'll be back soon. Let them know I remember where points meet and where my feet grew. That now when I'm pushed, I fall harder, but I still brush away a bruise the same way. This is my last poem. Thanks again for all you kind humans and to Eden and Andrew. Burn. I watched you push yourself in front of that train, and I grabbed you, reached out with my long arm, made you conductive like the rails, made you carbon held against the post to be burned so that some smoldering smoke might spread. I saw you jump from that roof but never touch down, burning on this loose battery terminal, hem of your skirt melting, copper wire bone-wrapped. I lit you so that you would become the falling flame of a torch in the night. I lit you so that your ash would carry. Thanks, guys.